Want to make a difference in your community but not sure how? Go to GoFundMe.com right now and start a GoFundMe. Seriously. Your next fundraiser doesn't have to start in a school parking lot or a church basement. You can start a GoFundMe today in just minutes. Fundraise for yourself, a friend or family member, or an organization. All that matters is that you care about them. GoFundMe is the trusted place to fundraise for what you care about. With no pressure to hit your fundraising goal, but tons of tools to help you reach it, you can confidently start fundraising right now. Whether it's creative, local, or critical, your cause matters. And there's a reason why GoFundMe is backed by millions and chosen by fundraisers everywhere. It works, and it matters. GoFundMe helps you make a real difference. Start your GoFundMe today at GoFundMe.com. That's GoFundMe.com. GoFundMe.com. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe.
Welcome to Emotionally Unavailable, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of emotional availability and intimacy. I'm your host, Melissa Hepner, and I can't tell you how excited I am to have you join me on this journey of self-discovery and connection. Whether you're navigating the complexities of relationships or exploring your own emotional landscape, this podcast is here to inspire, empower, and entertain. So get cozy and let's explore the depths of human emotions together. Hey guys, I'm having kind of a rough morning, so this intro is going to be short and sweet. But today's guest is Heather Harrington. She is the host of Hot Mess Espresso. In this episode, you're going to hear us talk about how that came about, her living with a diagnosis of borderline personality disorder, and she's also just like a ton of fun, super relatable, super down to earth. She's a cusser like mama, so you know I love that. And yeah, so we had a really good time, and she also just started a podcast with a couple other gals. I think it's called Friends Without Benefits. Yes. So I will make sure that there is a link to her show in the show notes. And if there is already a link for Friends Without Benefits, I'll make sure I include that too. But Heather's got it going on. She's a content creator. She's all kinds of shit, and she's doing great. So love that I got to have her on the show. She's super fun, and man, I'm so fucking tired of dealing with editing video. This is fucking up again. Anyway, so yeah, we had a really good time. I think you're going to love the conversation. I laughed a lot listening to it. So, okay. Okay. I'm going to include my ad swap again with Cheyenne. So, you know, look at Monday's show notes if you want to link to Cheyenne's podcast. I'm just doing it to be nice at this point. Like, we agreed on one, but I want you to, if you are at all still looking for more podcasts, Safe Space with Cheyenne, just, you know, I'm trying to build that brand on being a supportive person. And so I'm going to be nice and go above and beyond what we agreed on and just include her ad one more time. But speaking of ads, don't forget, Mama's getting ads now. I don't know how that's going for you all. I'm sorry if it's a bitch, but eventually it's going to be income for me. So please just listen to the ads, okay? The way it should be is 2 in the beginning, 2 at the end, and then I pick like 2 or 3 strategic places. I'm only doing like 1 in each of those places because I know what it's like to get like 3 ads in a row and you get pissed. So I'm trying to, you know, not let it like really fuck up your listening experience, but also I need money. So please just listen to the ads and understand that I'm doing what I can to make money. Okay. If I haven't said I love you and thank you, I do. And thank you. So I appreciate you. I'm having a rough time. Please send me good thoughts. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Here's a place where all of us can be safe. Our stories of transformation can be safe, and all the things we want to research are safe here. This is Safe Space with Cheyenne. I'm really excited you're here, and I hope you stick around for a while, because I've got a lot to show you before I leave Earth. I love you guys.
Emotionally unavailable. Hi. Do you hear me? It might be me because it's saying.
No, I think it's.
Oh, I hear you now. Okay.
There we go. Okay. I had to just change my mic settings.
Well, when I checked mine, it said something that made me think it wasn't my mic. Or,
Yeah.
bro, I can't even think. So it's whatever.
I can't either.
It feels like a fucking Monday, homie.
Tell me about it.
How are you today? Sorry for the
Tired.
link confusion. Yeah, me too.
No, you're fine. My ex-husband's moving out tonight, so that's been interesting to say the least.
I bet.
There we go. I also got a new camera, so I'm like, I gotta remember to like.
You use an external camera?
Yeah, so I use the Logitech Brio now.
Yeah.
I love it.
How does that work?
I was using a Logitech, so you have to like plug it into your computer, and then when you have your like settings, then it'll.
So kind of
have all
like
of that.
the mic and headphones, then.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Right on. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
your
this
quality.
thing is
Yeah.
great. It's so much better than when you were on mine. I'm like, God damn it! If it wasn't such quality, I'd be like, can we re-record?
Well, but you use Riverside to record, don't you?
Yeah, but I use that external camera.
And it will just feed it in there.
Mhm.
Huh. Well, damn it. You know what? I'll think about that. I hate equipment so much. And the second I get my heart set on something, it's going to just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the camera I really, really, really want that's like super high tech is like $750. So that's not happening anytime soon.
Where did you get the one you're using?
Amazon.
Okay. Because the only reason I decided to re-tech myself at all is because I started like going on other people's shows and I saw that like, you know, some people required it or whatever. Maybe eventually I'll get a camera too. Who fucking knows?
I had to upgrade my camera because half my guests had better cameras than I did. And I was like,
you were like, hey, that feels good. That feels good.
I need to fix this.
I'm so jealous you have coffee. I asked my kid to go pick some up and he's like, I'll let you know if I want some because you know he ain't gonna go if he don't want none. Bitch ass. So all right. I'm tired. You're tired. I don't really know what the fuck to talk about today. So I'm just going to ask you shit I want to know about you.
Okay.
Tell me again how long you've had your show?
It'll be 2 years this Saturday, actually.
Are you fucking kidding me? How fun.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Yes. Are you doing an anniversary thing?
A little bit. I'm going to be streaming on TikTok and then, I'm going to wind up probably doing like an Instagram giveaway as well because I have a lot of people off of Instagram, not just TikTok that listen. So it's going to be a whole thing. I'm like screaming, crying, throwing up.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Man, I tried to go live on TikTok finally, or at least that was a lie. That was a mischaracterization. I was finally trying to work up the nerve to go live and then it said I had to like apply or something. And I was like, oh well, roadblock. We're not gonna do that today.
Yeah,
so I haven't done it yet.
Did
weird. You have to do that?
No.
Okay.
They may have
Maybe
changed
it's just
it
because I don't have like enough followers or something. I thought you only had to have 1,000 to go live, but whatever.
You have to have less now.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll try again. Maybe it was a weird day. You know they be changing shit every day.
I know.
And what made you start your show?
So I literally I've answered this like a million times, but like for some reason I'm blanking today. So I actually had a blog a few years ago called Diaries of a Borderline because I had just been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And then I just kind of dove into it, realized how kind of like villainized it was and everything else. So I was like, I need to like kind of just talk about this more. And it was also helping me process what the hell was going on. So I just started the blog, and this is when I was going through dialectal behavioral therapy, which is also known as DBT. all of that stuff. And then my best friend Justin has literally been like, you need to start a podcast, you need to start a podcast, you need to start a podcast. And I'm like, nobody wants to hear this out of my voice. I don't even want to hear this out of my voice. So like, no. But blogs were kind of like fading out, podcasts were like fading in. And I just I was out in LA with visiting him and his wife and our other friend Dan. And we were in Dan's room and I was like standing in the doorway and I looked at Justin and I was like, do you have mic suggestions? And he goes, are you finally going to start it? And I was like, I guess I am. And that was late March 2023. And then by May 31st, 2023, I had the shit. I had published my first episode and here we are almost literally 2 years later.
Yeah, that's so cool. But the name of your blog sounds familiar. I wonder if I ever came across it. But okay, so let's talk about, if you're okay with it. I'm sure you are. Let's talk about for a minute your borderline diagnosis, just because that's not something I've touched a lot on this show. I don't know how, but I guess just because since I've started having no problem getting guests, it's just people like promoting shit usually, you know what I mean? But like, I mean, we have deep conversations or whatever, but I haven't had anyone on that actually, let me not say that. Maybe I have, and I was high a lot those early days, just coping with life. So, I'm sure a couple of them had a borderline diagnosis. The reason I'm so curious about this is because I remember going through the fucking divorce crazies during my Saturn return and just, horning it up, doing the things you do after a divorce, fucking literally anything that would walk. And
I actually didn't. I was actually surprised, but I think I've been through so much therapy that I was like, there was like 2 people.
Oh my God, no, I went,
2 people.
Well, okay, but let me give you a little context here. I married the person I lost my virginity to.
That'll do it.
And also was always a very hypersexual person, and he was a hyposexual person. So that was a key factor in the divorce, truly. But because of the way, like, I allowed it to make me feel about myself. But then I just was like, no holds bars, like we gonna fuck.
Yeah, honestly,
so
like
that was a part of it, but there was drugs, there was a lot of escapism, there was a lot of stuff. And so I remember looking through my DSM at the time being like, and I told another social worker that I worked with, I don't know if I told you I used to be a full-time hospice social worker. Yeah. And so I was talking to her and I was like, oh no, man, kind of think I'm borderline. She was like, don't say that because that's a really tough diagnosis. And I was like,
tough diagnosis. It's a very tough diagnosis.
Yeah.
It is literal hell. I don't wish this on anyone. It's there is like hope in recovery. Like I do feel a lot better than I did in my early 20s. Just based off of like, finding who I am, getting more comfortable with who I am, like working through a lot of the traumas that caused a lot of the reckless behavior and stuff like that. But borderline actually takes like, you can think you have it and then go into therapy. It takes months to get a diagnosis because they have to eliminate or find comorbidities. A lot of the times you're borderline and bipolar or borderline and ADHD. I'm borderline and ADHD.
Yeah.
So
well, I'm sure ADHD does not fucking help.
No, it doesn't. It actually like sprinkles a little act like the rage and like the this, that, and the third. Like that definitely does not help. And then just a couple of others. I think I did a podcast episode actually on the differences, and I think I need to do another deep dive because it was just very like, I think it was like a 17-minute episode where I just like quoted off some studies and I was like, yeah, that makes sense, like blah blah, because it was like early on in like my think it was in the first year, so I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Right.
I still don't, but I can do it a little bit. I can fake it a little bit better.
We should do we should do something where we both record and both post it, where we're recapping our funniest fucking shit from the early days.
Oh my god. Anytime anyone's like, "Oh, where should I start?" I'm like, technically season 1, but if you want to start at season 6 where I actually get my shit together, that would be great.
I feel you.
You know, it's just like it took me like a year and a half to really like find my place in this, but with Borderline, it's just there's 9 characteristics. Like there's a whole bunch of shit that goes on. It takes months to get a diagnosis. And then that's a lot of therapists I know, like it used to be the therapist wouldn't work with Borderline because they didn't know who was walking in the door.
I've heard that.
Now it's a little bit more manageable. Like I actually know a therapist that is doing clinical studies on like this 18 session thing that helps with borderline. So there's a lot more help now. And I'm over here like I walked to school uphill both ways barefoot, like in a snowstorm kind of thing. Cause I was literally going through the trenches because I got diagnosed.
Like, where was that help for me, bitch?
I got diagnosed. I started treatment when I was 25. So that was 8 years ago. I got the final diagnosis about 6.5, 7 years ago. So it's come a really long way and I'm very excited for that. But I'm also like slightly bitter because like I had to go through a ton of work and I'm like, if I had
totally that, but that's
if I had been able to do this. If I had been able to do this in 6 months, this would have been like so nice. But no, I had to do it the long way, which is basically how I've done my entire life, the long and hard way.
Well, haven't we all? But I mean, but that's why we are who we are. You know what I mean?
Sure is.
Yep. I mean, like literally, there's so much shit that I'm like, damn, if our parents had just had a single fucking ounce of this information, none of us would have gotten what we got. Although, I mean, you know, it's funny that you say that about like, and I'm glad that you're able to express like a little bit of resentment about the fact that like, you didn't get that. But I kind of think that that's where we're all sitting about something. And that that's like a real pain of your generation and mine is that people are getting it better. Like I've been putting shit in my notes to make videos about because I fucking hate doing that shit. I really do.
Oh my God.
I put, you know what I'm talking. I fucking hate it. But one of the
things doing content.
Yeah, I hate that shit. But the thing that struck me the other day was someone saying, kind of just irritated, I guess, at the thought of kindergarten graduations. And like, they were like, why, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, but see, like, you're just saying that because either A, you don't have the time or money to deal with that with your own kindergartner, or B, there's still a part of you hurting over something that you didn't get around that age. You know what I mean? And like, what if you did have a kindergarten graduation, and what if like your people showed up for you and acted like it was fucking the most amazing accomplishment you've ever had? Like, wouldn't that feel good? And like, just more like, what if more of us were able to sit in like an understanding that this is how generational change happens, is one of us has to decide, like, even though I didn't get that, I'm going to pay it forward. And I feel like it's like a real general theme of being emotionally unavailable, truly. Like I'm not just saying that like to throw in the name of my show. Like that is the reason that my show is named what it is, because once I discovered like this is why I'm doing all that, like I started to understand why everyone around me was doing what they were doing too. And you know, I saw this working in education too. A lot of them fucking boomers didn't want to do nice shit for kids because no one was ever nice to them. And I'm like, I feel you and I want to sit with you in that, but also this isn't your childhood anymore and you get a chance to do this differently. So like, why can't we just fucking do nice shit for kids? You know what I mean? Anyway, tangent. But yeah, I haven't been very like vocal about this or open, but the thing is that I only like went to therapy when I was 18 for a few short months because, well, Heather, I'll tell you what happened was I met that boy I married and all my problems were solved. And so I didn't need to go to therapy anymore. And I remember her looking at me and being like,
Yeah, see, I got married and then I wound up in individual and couples therapy. So
Damn, you said more problems. My money, my problems.
basically, no, he's a good guy. He just, we just from the get-go, once he was like home from all of his military shit and we actually like settled into what life would look like with him home full time, that's where we realized we were not the people for each other.
Yeah.
We thought, oh, if we can get through these like separations and holding down the house and everything else, and like we have some communication problems, but like we'll just go to therapy for that and work it out and figure it out and blah 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 blah. And then spoiler alert, yeah, no, we just figured out that we are very much not the oh my god, my cat just like I don't know if you can see.
Yes, I can. Oh my fucking god, that's hilarious.
He's like 19 pounds, just launched my chair back.
He's like just hanging there.
Bub. This is why I need a new office chair. My cats have turned it into a scratching post. But
so funny. No,
like,
I totally get that because
yeah.
like even if you didn't have a diagnosis, this is the hardest fucking part. And I'm an astrology girly. So I believe in it like so fucking hardcore. And so like all my shit's in my 7th house. So it's like, oh, relationships are going to be the thing that help you understand and grow and God, I don't want to grow anymore.
Yeah,
Yes, I do. But damn, dude, I've been married to my second husband for since 2012, but we've been together for like 16 years. And every day is me a little bit more letting go of control, of expectations, and just trying to like reach new levels of consciousness about humans. And I'll be honest, I'm the fucking worst about making everything about me and that my feelings matter the most in this situation. And I'm not really like this with anybody else. It is my intimate relationships that bring out the goddamn devil in me.
Same.
So bad. And I can see it. I can see it so clearly now, how sometimes I am so fucking self-absorbed. And still, I'll be like, listen, I know I'm not supposed to. I know this. I know my feelings aren't supposed to matter and more, or my experience isn't supposed to matter more here. And yet that's how I feel right now. Like, I don't really fucking care what you going through in this moment. This baby's like, let me talk.
I don't know if you can hear him.
For those of you who are not going to watch the YouTube, you probably should eventually whenever this shit gets posted, because this cat is adorable. And, he's trying to talk to us. He went to the mic and everything.
This is the OG mama's boy. This is Max. I got him when he was a kitten. The Wednesday before Halloween, which is why his name, because he's named after Max Dennison from Hocus Pocus.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, so he is.
Wait,
19.
how old did you say he is?
He will be 10 in August.
Mm.
I know, it's the worst. I like cry regularly about the fact that we're halfway through our time together.
My dogs. Like, I've got 2 that have gotten really old, and every day I'm like, you good? What are we doing? Can I love on you?
Oh, I know. Like, he's my OG baby. I had 2 cats through my 20s. Stella passed in October 2022. But yeah, I was just me and these 2 for the longest time, and then
Max and Stella, great names.
I know. I
love it. Look at him; he's so happy.
He is.
He's like, I just had to get some attention.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I'm good now.
Oh, I love it. After he fucking just like literally skydived onto your chair, that was so funny. He's like, oh I forgot my parachute. It was so funny. I hope people watch the YouTube, whatever it's fucking uploaded.
Oh my god,
that'll be. But anyways, so I'm the devil in relationships. I am, and I have been all the worst things. Every worst version of me has come out inside of my home, and that's something I'm working. So, like, I just noticed even now. Oh, my ears just started ringing. But I noticed even now,
yesterday, like they went numb and did that, like not numb, but like it was almost like noise canceling with the ringing. And I was like, "Ew,
someone's trying to talk to me."
Yeah,
well,
no
I don't like. I think I know yesterday. It's just my attitude. Like, if I'll notice I'm holding on to stress by the way the tone of voice I use with my husband. Like, I'll be like, "What?" And I was thinking about it after I said something shitty yesterday. I was like, my son and I tag teamed some Rotel dip for the game last night, and we were doing that, and I was just being rude to my fucking husband, and then I was like, why am I being rude? And I was like, oh, I think I've been holding on to some tension or something, but he's the only person I take my shit out on.
It's
like,
because
he's
the one you're
sad.
most comfortable with.
Absolutely. And he's so fucking nice. Like, he's just like, because he's been with me for this many years, he is so fucking over like the bullshit that like now he'll give me like a little bit of bristle back, but like it's like almost adorable because it's like, like he's not rude, he's not loud, he's so calm and not a shit talker. So like if he does even the smallest thing, I'm like, oh, too far, okay, I'll chill. It's always nice because like it actually is such a good thing. Like I told him forever ago, quit being such a people pleaser, because when you actually stand up to me, I shut the fuck up, and I kind of need that. So
it's honestly hot.
Yeah, I'm like, don't let me fucking disrespect your house like that.
Like I keep myself in check for the most part. I mean, I was a see you next Tuesday to my ex-husband like the last like year that we were married, because I was just done. I was just absolutely fucking like just done. But he's always been like super sweet, never raised his voice to me. The only time he ever even like slightly raised his voice to me or even actually like walked away because he was gonna get mad was like a month and a half ago, and we had a knockdown drag out like conversation to end all conversations, like about everything that like I had done, because I had basically immediately as soon as I left my marriage jumped to somebody else that went up in fucking flames. Which if you jump 9 times out of 10, I'm just gonna say this, and y'all can burn me at the stake if you want, but if you're jumping from a marriage into another relationship immediately, it's not gonna work. They are a rebound, they are a palate cleanser, and it's gonna go up in flames.
That, and you're not going to be attracted to or attract anyone different or better if you're still in the same exact space. Like you're still vibrating at that same fucked up frequency. And so you're not going to see somebody normal as safe, and you're not going to go for someone normal. It's going to be someone emotionally unavailable and fucked up, and they go fuck you up.
Well, they may not be emotionally available. They may be emotionally like available and like not fucked up. But at the end of the day, like I think as women, what we tend to do is it's not necessarily the grass is greener. Because again, my ex-husband was a great guy, just not a great partner for me. But because this dude checked off like 1.5 more boxes than my ex-husband, I was like, this is great. This is wonderful. Blah, 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 blah. Like, and I was terrible being alone. I don't think I'd been alone in like, since I was like 16, more than like a month with a talking stage or anything like that. So I was just kind of like jumping from one to the next. So when that went up in flames, I just happened to meet my ex. I guess we can call him boyfriend because he never put a relationship title on it.
Right.
But we were exclusively dating, and it's a whole mess. I literally But we dated for 6 months. Like again, he checked off all the boxes, blah 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 blah. He actually checked off boxes I didn't even know I had. And then
that sounds dirty.
But and then that just kind of ended randomly at 8:00 in the morning on a Monday.
Like officially ended, or did he ghost you?
No, he texted me at 7:32 on a fucking Monday, knowing damn well I'm not a morning person. So I was going to wake up to that fucking text.
God, what a bitch.
Because I asked to be a little bit more of a priority, which is hilarious because that's how his last relationship ended as well. He had asked to be more of a priority. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, and then my brain broke. And I literally was like, I'm going to stay single. I'm going to work on me. I'm going to get myself to a point where I'm not accepting the fact that they check off 1.5 more boxes than the next person. And it's been the best and worst decision of my life, because now I'm like, nobody's good enough. But it's also been really nice because now I'm comfortable being alone.
Yeah.
Now I'm comfortable. And like, I feel like when people are saying, I'm good with being alone, like I think the word alone just really like throws people because it's such like a sad word, but at the same time there's a lot of freedom in it. Like
Well, yeah, and do you just mean it like I mean it? Like I'm comfortable. I know how to entertain myself. I know how to make myself happy. I know, like, I'm not like alone in the sense that I don't have anyone to spend time with, but like
right.
I'm really comfortable with filling silence on my own.
Well, and I mean, being not only like a military spouse, but also like I did a lot of long distance relationships. So like between the long distance, being a military spouse, and then being married to somebody that worked, I don't know if it's second or third shift, but like he was getting home between midnight and 4 a.m, depending. So like I was used to, and it was never a consistent schedule, literally ever. Um, I was used to doing things by myself. I was used to being a single wife. I was
You had
used
that
to
safety net.
being the third wheel with people.
Mhm.
So for me, I'm like, oh, I can actually be like a third wheel. And it's not weird because it's like, well, where's your husband, or where's your boyfriend, or where's this, or where's
Yeah.
that? Because it's just me. And like I kind of like it like that. And for me, I'm like, I'm at the point where if I'm going to be dating somebody, I want to do that. Like, and I know everyone's like, after 3 months, you should know, you should be ready for it. But sometimes that person's not able to meet you there.
Right.
And like, I thought about it was kind of like that with my ex, but at the same time, like his words weren't lining up with his actions, but in the opposite direction. His actions were saying, I'm committed to you. You're a priority, this, that, and the other thing. His words were, I've got some weird anxieties about being in a relationship. Like, I
Classic
I
avoidance.
feel
Yeah.
like usually it's like, oh, look at their actions, not their words. And I'm over here like, no, look at the words too, because apparently they can bamboozle you that way as well. Because I was hearing the words, but then the actions were like, no, you're a priority. I want to be with you, blah, 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 blah. Like eventually I'm gonna like fully commit and like call you my girlfriend. But at the same time, I didn't think I really needed that. And I still don't. Like, as long as I know I'm exclusive with somebody, like I'm good. But at the same time, his words were saying, I'm never going to actually fully commit to you. Like, this is just to kind of like fill whatever void I have until this gets too real. I freak the fuck out and then I bail. That's what he was actually saying to me. I just wasn't reading between the lines or reading the room or reading anything coming out of his mouth. It's fine.
How long did that relationship last? I'm just curious because the this part is
Literally
usually about 3 months.
just under 6 months.
Mm.
So
you weren't putting any pressure until about then, and then that's when. Okay.
No, it was
it
right
would have
after,
happened sooner if you had.
it was right after we went away for a weekend.
Oh, there you go. Classic
Like a
avoidance.
long weekend, just us. We didn't even really like do much. Like we went to dinner a couple of times, but we had just hung out in the hotel and literally watched like 12 hours of Swamp People. And it was perfect because we just could be ourselves.
It was too intimate. It was too intimate.
It was too good, apparently. So
Yep.
like, you know, because we'd done like overnight like getaways here and there, and that was fine. But like the full weekend, like Friday at noon to Sunday at noon, was like there were no other people. We didn't have like these big public things we were going to. We weren't meeting up with anybody like that. And all of a sudden, like all of my TikTok diving into an avoidant, and they're like, usually after like a vacation is when they bail, and I'm like, son of a fucking bitch. But like, I'm just at the point where I understand that like I have done the work on myself. Not everybody's there. So it's like I'm very big on taking a few months to like just be friends, get to know somebody, actually be in a talking stage. Like if they're, and this isn't for like literally everyone because you know there's a reason why we have 800 Are We Dating the Same Guy pages. This is more for like people that you know are like really clear communicators, really clear on where they're at, and you know it's also very clear where you guys are at as a whole. This isn't for the fuckboys that you know are gonna situationship you for 3 years,
Right. And they sure the hell will. You give them 3 years, they'll take it.
Like I just it's just nice to like kind of be talking to someone, but it's very light. You don't have to talk every day, because that's the thing. Like, the one thing I'm learning is that everyone's like, you have to be talking to somebody every day, all day. If they don't talk to you all day, like they don't care
Yes.
to like talk to you at all. And
Those
I'm like, that's not always the
expectations.
case.
It's not. Some people don't like that
I
many touch points throughout the day, and some
as
people just don't have time.
as somebody that's been alone for 6 months, I don't want to be talking to somebody all day. If I want to be talking to you for like a good amount of time, like literally, I almost appreciate like the people that don't text back immediately. When they start texting back immediately, I'm like, I'm gonna go through my phone, because I feel like I can't do anything, because I also want to respond back, because I like talking to you. So like, if it's a few hours, I know I can leave my phone, do the podcast episodes, do my aesthetic shit, like, and I don't have to be checking my phone. I don't talk to you all day, fine, because I know that, like, if they're like an emotionally intelligent person, they're going to be reaching out at some point, and they usually reach out within that 24 hours.
Right.
And
yeah, what do you
not-
think about these people who freak out whenever, because I'm addicted to TikTok and I love to watch like the social stuff. So what do you think about people who are like 8 hours on red or delivered or 12 hours? Like, I don't know if that was like every day and not a part of their schedule. Like, I don't know. Some people don't text at work, and I think that's okay. Like, what do
Yeah.
you think about those people who are making a really big deal about hours or whatever?
Okay, so I'm the queen of overthinking. However, I can give like an example. ADHD exists. Okay. And I'm not saying
Thank
that's an
you.
excuse, because I
I
don't
think
give
it
my
is.
but if you have, like, let's give a hypothetical. It's not really a hypothetical, but for legal purposes, it's a hypothetical. If you have somebody that's like, hey, sometimes I'll read a text and I will fucking forget about it. So please feel free to double text me, because I probably saw it and forgot about it. Especially if they have a really crazy job that require, like, and they just, they're focused on that. They've got big projects at work that they have to finish, that kind of thing. That's when you're just like, okay. And this is all just like in the get to know you stage. You're getting to know their communication. You're getting to know you're getting to see if they are the type of people that are going to be clear with their faults on communication.
Yeah.
And if they're like, hey, these are my faults on communication, this is what, like, I am okay with you doing to make sure XYZ. And I'm going to say this. A lot of people's jobs are on social media now. So this whole, I see you posting on Instagram, but you're not texting me back. No shit, because Instagram's your fucking job.
Yeah, but even like I have to make promos on social media. So I will do that and not do anything else on social media. So I'm not responding to DMs or anything. I'm just fucking doing the thing I went there to do and then calling it good. And as girls, I'm sorry, maybe not everyone's like this, but we have to get out of the habit of like, I'm a communicator, so I can text exactly how I talk, and I mean paragraphs. And when I say can, I mean do, will, and that's something I'm working on, because now that I have been the person who's overwhelmed by something, is like, oh shit, I can't respond to that right now, because that's a lot of information to take in and then formulate a response to. I kind of get it now. Like, I never understood, like, my husband, this was a huge ass fight for so many fucking years. Like, I never understood like why I couldn't get a response. Like, baby, you just overwhelmed shit out of him. That's why. And so I'm so thankful for all the times that different things like that have happened to me, because I totally get it now, where it's like, oh, I love the person communicating with me, but I can't deal with that right now. So I set it aside. And then, yes, the million things I'm dealing with in a day made me forget about it. Like, I'm sorry.
There's also mental health. Like, I literally got a text from somebody like 2 days ago after I had accidentally sent them a fucking paragraph. But it was like a validating event session or whatever. And they were literally like, hey, I appreciate you so much. I will respond to this when I have the energy. Boom, done. Take all the time you need.
Yeah.
Take a couple days. I don't care. I don't need to be talking to you every day.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't have the fucking energy for that. So for me, it's just real, again, that's clear communication.
Right.
Or like reactions to texts or like Instagram messages. That's a huge thing, because it's like, hey, I'm acknowledging that I see this. I'm more likely than not gonna fucking forget to respond. So like, give me a second.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's just on that communication of like, hey, I'm just like not in a good place today. So, like, you know, I'm not going to be as like whatever. And it's like, okay, take the day. I don't care. You know, but
Yeah.
again, it like social media just ruins shit. Cause like both of my jobs are on social media. I will spend like when I tell you, oh my God, I literally spent 45 minutes on an Instagram story the other day. And it was actually because the underclassmen who, Justin and Dan, who I'd mentioned earlier, they're in a band called the Underclassmen. They're dropping a new single. Riverside is currently the bane of my fucking existence right now because I was trying to get a specific clip from that episode downloaded so I could be like, oh, and hey, they came on the show or whatever. I downloaded 3 different clips. It downloaded the same clip 3 times. So I gave up. So I literally had to like, and then I had to edit it in and everything else. And I'm not techie. So like people are going to see that I posted on Instagram recently, but I'm not answering my phone. And it's like, yeah, no shit. Because like I just used all my energy on this and like I'm done. I am
Not to
tapped the fuck
mention
out
you
for the
were
day.
using your computer to do that, right?
No, I was using my phone.
Oh, you were using your phone.
Yeah.
But I never thought about people using their computers for social media until
Yeah.
I started doing like when I got your message earlier on the phone and then I was like, oh, I don't know how to send it. So I went to the computer to send you the link. But like I never thought about that. And you know, it sounds stupid, but I'm a person who used to get my feelings hurt so easily by this lack of connection from people. Like I could spend time in, you know, isolation, but then still just like need some sort of connection. And I would reach out. And if I didn't get like a response at all or within an hour, like I was really hurt by that. I mean, that was really one of the contributing factors of that narrative that I walked around with, where like I was like, I'm just on the periphery of my relationships. I think there was so much truth in that, but that was because that's the way I designed those relationships. I surrounded myself with a bunch of people who didn't know how to like have intimacy. And you know, everyone in my life was a project for me to fix. And so I would just, you know, exude all my energy onto them so I could avoid my own shit. But at the same time, so much of the betrayal that I incurred was my own. And it was just from building up all those fucking expectations for people, you know. I'm sorry, but my irresponsible 18-year-old.
I love that for you.
I don't think he's awake and he has work and he's already done dumb shit this week. So let me call real quick. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'll gather my thoughts for what I want has been forwarded.
Jake! Your phone is dead. Okay, well, did you decline my call? Well, it went straight to voicemail. I'm just making sure you're going to work, homie. Goddamn. All right, sorry.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think especially for like the overthinker in me and somebody who's had expectations, again, social media ruins that because we have all of these like perfect relationships and people think that you should like be jumping into something within a week. Absolutely the fuck not.
No.
I got married 14 months to the day after I matched with my husband on Hinge, okay? We did not take enough time to get to know each other. And I get
it's not very long.
No, it's not. It's like we joked that it was 5 years in military time, but it still ain't that long. But like the way that I have like quelled my overthinking is 1, I'm good on my own. So like if something doesn't work out, I don't give a fuck. 2, I also got my brain literally split in half 6 months ago when this whole thing imploded with my ex. And I don't know why the hell it affected me so much. And I think it was because I had actually found all the dots connected of what I actually like wanted. And it was still that fear of I'm not going to find that again because I know what's out there and it ain't cute. But then I also have just learned, and I stick to this mantra ridiculously, like what is meant for me will not miss me.
It's exactly
so
right.
I don't hear from somebody for a day, and you know, it's just like in the getting to know each other stage and like just being friends and just, you know, seeing if it like takes off at some point. If it's meant for me, speeding it up is not going to make it like that much better. Like
No,
just
and
and
I
I'm the
found I did that even in friendship, like that
yeah,
fast track to
exactly.
best friends.
Yeah.
Like day one, do you want to be my best friend? And I'm talking about in fucking adulthood, okay?
Yeah.
But like labels really meant something to me because it gave me that false sense of security. Just
Yeah.
like fast tracking a new relationship where we're talking
Mhm.
12 hours a day, nonstop with the text.
That
And
would
then we
drive me
talk
nuts.
on the phone at night. And then, we're seeing each other. I don't know. And I try to tell clients like an average new thing is like a couple of dates a week max.
Yeah.
Like at all.
And like that's the thing. Like, and you can show consistency or inconsistency even if you don't talk every day.
Mm-hmm.
I know if I don't hear from, somebody like a hypothetical, if you don't hear from them for a day, but by like the next morning, they're going to be reaching out, that's consistency. That shows
Yeah.
effort. Like I mean, the amount of these like relationship coaches that are coming out and they're like, hey, a talking stage is not supposed to be literally attached to each other 24 fucking 7 on your phone. It's supposed to
Right.
be, you're not even supposed to be talking every day. Like you're
Right.
supposed to go about your life and like it's supposed to organically, like I really hate that we're all kind of in this thing where you have to be in a relationship within 3 months. Like, yeah, sometimes those
Yeah.
kind of move a little faster. And like maybe it's because I had that slow burn with my ex that like granted it didn't end well, but it showed me that like just being able to sit back and enjoy your time together and just getting to know them and getting to know them for like their pluses, their minuses, their break evens, all of that is what's actually like really nice. So you're not literally like in a relationship and all of a sudden like planning for the next stage
Mm-hmm.
because that's exhausting.
Well, I mean, and how many times in the past were you so happy that it made you nervous? Oh,
Yeah.
what does this mean? Like, I don't want to get too into this and then find out blah blah blah. And like, baby, you're already too into it if you're
If
like,
you're worried. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I happiness for a long time just wasn't safe for me, but also I kind of knew like because my husband's a complete avoidant. Like
Mhm.
I really don't even know how we actually ended up. Well, I do because the pressure was off and I needed his help and, helping me in the vasopressin, I guess that's what did it. But honestly,
Mhm.
it was like me kind of giving up on the relationship that and took the pressure off of him. And he was like, okay. But like, his avoidant tendencies are still an issue. But what I noticed is like, I'm avoidant too. We all are in our own
Mhm.
way. Mine don't come up as much in intimate relationships because those are what really trigger my anxious. But
Mhm.
I see it in my friendships and I see it in just everyday interactions where the second I feel the slightest hint of rejection, I'm gonna reject your ass and run. Like
Yeah.
that's still an issue for me. And I noticed even I think why I can really relate to like the dismissive avoidant plight is because I finally like figured it out when I felt somebody's expectation for me trigger that narrative of like I'm not enough,
Mhm.
and I pushed them away. I was talking to myself deeply at the time because I was aware of this pattern. So I was like, Melissa, I know you feel very right in what you're doing right now. You're convincing yourself this person's toxic. You're convincing yourself of this, but I think you're doing that thing that you do. And so you got to like really examine. And so I did, and I just chilled. I was like, I'm not going to put any pressure on myself to move through this. I'm going to understand that this person inherently has done nothing wrong except for trigger something in me that I'm working on. But like, that's my indicator. I need some space from this particular friendship. And so that's what I did
That's the
until I
thing.
felt better.
Like that's one of my biggest like beliefs that I've learned. You've got to give people space to one, have their own shit going on and not feel
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, I gotta get back to this person or like it's gonna be World
Yes.
War III. You got to give them the space to do that. You got to give them the space to deal with their mental health when their mental health is not great. You got to give them the space to process shit on their own. You have to give them the space to actually want to talk to you. Because guess
What do you
what?
think though? Like if they need, what if you were kind of talking to someone who
Mhm.
you knew like just had like a really busy job and their life was really busy, and also that they have periodic struggles with their mental health. What do
Mhm.
you think about like what if you don't hear anything for 3 weeks?
That's a little too long. I'm talking like a few days in between.
Okay.
Like if it's like longer than 3 days and they're not coming with like a hey, shit was crazy. Like, I literally have a friend that didn't respond to a text for 3 days, but that's because they were like overseas dealing with a whole bunch of shit because like there was like this whole thing with the international travel and it was a mess. And I didn't hear from them for 3 days. And they were like, I am so sorry. Like shit was crazy. I'm like, I know. I did not expect while you were trying to like jump to another country to fucking fly back here. And you were
Right.
gonna be like, I need to text Heather back. If that is like you need your head examined. Okay? Like, no. And I just that's my thing is like people have crazy jobs, people have things going on. You have to give people space to want to talk to you. And I'm telling you that because you will see consistently that when you give them that space, and I'm not saying like you sit there and go, I'm not going to respond to their text or anything. Like
Right.
you have to like be comfortable enough with yourself that like if they want to talk to me, they'll talk to me. And
Yeah,
it's a
I think
fucking
when you come
process
from
to
a
get
place
to.
of love and compassion for yourself
Mhm.
first, like where you're like, this doesn't have shit to do with me. And I'm going to be a container for myself first because I'm going to understand this doesn't have shit to do with me. I'm not going to make it about me.
Mhm.
And then when they are like, oh my God, blah, 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 when you're loving yourself, you're sharing that love by going, I, I didn't take that shit personally. You all right,
I
babe?
don't.
You
Like
know?
I literally it's so funny because I used to take it so personally like I wasn't enough and this that and the third and now I'm just
Mhm.
like but like are you good?
Yeah,
Like because
yeah.
that had to be like a lot.
Like, are
Like I
you
can't
okay?
imagine how exhausting that was and they're still having to post on social media for their job. Like actually take
Right.
me out. So
Yes.
it's like you have to give them that space and you know, if they're not texting you and it becomes consistent that they're just like an absolute shit texter, like that's when you need to kind of like draw the line and put the boundary up with yourself. But if they do genuinely have like a crazy job and they've got the social media shit and everything else, like you kind of got to just ride that out and decide like where the line is. But at the end of the day, like you know what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. And if you're literally kind of like draining yourself to like be super understanding, then you don't
Yeah, I
do
mean, if
that.
that's not you, it's not you, boo. Meet yourself where you are too. Like, if you're not ready to have that amount of freedom for yourself or someone else, don't pretend because you're
Yeah.
just going to stack up the resentments. But like, it's been an evolution for me because I went years without texting my husband at all because it would like when he would finally see it and respond, he would feel like shit. And so I'd be like, fucking, it's not even worth it. Cause then I'd get some stupid. Plus,
Yeah.
I love you, Brian, but you're really a terrible texter. So like the shit he does text. I'm like, I put a whole flowery paragraph, but that's who I am as a person. So now I don't care. But
Yeah.
God damn it, at the time I did. I fucking cared. So I quit texting him. And now like I'll be like, I love you, just like randomly, but I
Right.
don't care either if he responds or sees it or like I literally can do it with no expectation. For so many fucking years, that is not who I was as a person. And now I'm running into
Yeah.
this thing with just friends where like I don't want to talk on the phone because I talk for hours every day. I want to text. They're not texters and they want to call. And I'm like, then we're never going to talk because I don't feel like talking on the phone. So you can invite me to coffee, your house, whatever. But like, I'm not picking up the phone when you call unless I know it's like you need something. Well, but just a chit chat, no, baby, no.
Yeah. No. So like I am a phone call person, but I'm more of a FaceTime person because I can literally throw my AirPod in, get shit done, and it's like a body double type thing. That's why
Yes.
I don't really like consistent texting conversations because I'm like,
Well,
I
then
gotta
you're
sit
chained to
here.
your phone and you're not getting shit done.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
would rather like throw my phone up on this like tripod right here and be talking to them while I'm like editing an episode or getting shit done or like cleaning my house. The amount of shit I get done when I'm on the phone is like it should be studied.
I used to be that way too. I would do the most when I was on the phone. That's so funny.
Yeah.
But I
And
don't anymore. Like, I would rather listen to a podcast or something. Well, maybe that's why I don't get shit done, because I get like work stuff done, but my house is a fucking wreck.
yeah, I cannot wait to like deep clean my house because like my ex-husband's moving out tonight and I'm like, I'm gonna deep clean the fuck out of my house. Like, I'm so excited. But yeah, I just my biggest thing is you have to understand like what your level of understanding is. And if you're getting effort, like genuine effort, not this half-ass like keep you on a string effort, but like genuine effort of being like, hey, how was your day today? Like, I'm sorry, I was like, just not around. How was your day today? Like, feel
Yeah.
free to dump on me if you want. And they actually mean it and stuff like that. My level of understanding like increases a little bit because
Yeah.
I know that when you can get back to me, you will.
Yep.
And if it takes like a little over a day because you got a lot of shit going on, okay,
That's what
I'll
it
talk to you
is.
when I talk
Yeah.
to you. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And of course, like, I also have to kind of be understanding of like jobs that are big on social media because I'm also on social media. Like, I'm a content creator. And I literally posted a little thing and I'm pulling it up. I posted a holy shit, it's got 3,300 views already. Fuck. That I did a little like fun little thing to like a sleep token song. And some of these comments, like if somebody was dating me and was insecure as fuck, these comments would piss them off.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's mostly men. And they're like, a couple of them are like hitting on me. A couple of them are like fine. Um, my female friends are absolutely disgusting and I love it. Um, but like, it's if somebody like saw this and was like insecure, I couldn't do it.
Right.
Because like I'm not for nothing, but I'm not ugly. Like I'm gonna
Right.
get people on my shit making really weird comments. It fucking happens. And I have to
Right.
acknowledge it and I have to comment back because that A pushes it out into the algorithm and B, it's my fucking job. I didn't build this granted, like slight thirst traps are not part of building a mental health community, but TikTok's my fun space, okay? TikTok is
Yeah,
just
you
my
get to do whatever you
unhinged,
want.
like
Yeah.
funsy space, okay? But like, I didn't build this community of people who came from my unhinged fun space, came into my TikTok lives and then heard I had a podcast and blah 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 blah. I didn't get to
That's the way it works.
I didn't get to 17 fucking countries and build an almost 10K following on TikTok and like have all these like bigger interviews and shit by ignoring people.
Right. Right.
Unfortunately, social media is a job. Unfortunately, social media is also like the bane of society, but we have to learn to work with it. And I really wish people would start doing more inner work to get comfortable enough with themselves to know that it is literally just a job.
You're right.
It's
Sister,
better
I'm
to
so
have.
sorry to rush us off, but
You're good.
I've got another one coming up. Do you want to tell people where to find you, shit like that?
Yeah, of course. So you can find me on Instagram, hotmess.espresso, ESPRESSO. Same handle on TikTok, Hot Mess Espresso. The podcast you can find anywhere on Spotify, Apple. I'm on YouTube. Those videos drop every Friday. Episodes, audio drop every Wednesday. So yeah, come check it out.
I need to subscribe to your YouTube and you need to subscribe to mine because I need more
I know.
subscribers.
I need to find it. So send me the link and I will
will.
do the things.
All right, love. I hope you have is today Tuesday? Terrific Tuesday.
Yeah. All right.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, make sure you've given the show a 5-star rating on whatever platform you're listening to if you haven't already. And check out my website, empoweredwithmelissahepner.org, or my link tree on Instagram at melissa.hepner to check out my latest offers or workshops. Emotionally unavailable. All right, that's it from me. So make sure that you check out the show notes for links. And until next time, let's all just keep swimming. Emotionally unavailable.
INDEPE and cut.